Hey folks, and welcome back to Mashinky in the 5th era update. We are in the 2nd era. We're overlooking Irvine here as Logger goes by in the background, one of our logging trains. Last episode we made some headway on our main highway network, which is coming up this way. Let's see, a little bit easier to see in this view. Kind of up this way, down this way, a little bit of action in between. The things we're hooking up first are the iron ore here, which is sharing a station with the forestry. So this station is now going to pull from both and store both resources independently. They each have their own max storage that's not affected by the other. And right now it's at the minimum 200. But until we get it really up and running, we'll be fine leaving it there. And we've got our coal station hooked up. No trains running on these lines yet. We need to get them hooked up to the foundry and then have that coming down to the toolworks and link up to this kind of highway section here. So to help us figure out where we're going to lay all this, the one thing we know for sure is that this main line is going to continue up this way, and then get back on here somewhere, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, and we could have it bend at some point so it's closer to the foundry for more of a straight shot. But no, I'm gonna kind of keep it in this little tight square as kind of our main circular network. And then therefore this will be coming down this way. So it'll come down to how are we going to junction these. The iron ore and the coal are both going to be coming in this way and heading back this way. You're going to be coming in and then maybe you can jump on and head this way and coming back out this way. So we kind of only have two directions that we need to support. This isn't going to be an intersection where, you know, this line needs to go down here. You know, it's not going to be like a traditional three-way intersection necessarily. We can keep it. We basically don't need to support, you know, directions we're not going to use. Although it might be easier to get them in now if we think we might use them in the future. But no, we won't be doing that yet. Well, let's just focus on getting these lines set up, and then we can make changes in the future if we want. Now, so what would that look like? You coming in here, maybe it looks something like that. And that's fine. But now we have this little crossing here, so one of these trains is going to have to wait if another's coming at the same time. So we could fix that with a bridge right here. Did it charge me for that? No, okay, I don't think so. But I think I might do a tunnel. Tunnel's a little bit faster than a bridge. And we have enough space for it. And meanwhile, this is also going to come off at maybe the same angle. And I might rip up a bunch of this, because it'll depend on where the station ends up being and how it looks. But it's just easier for me to think about it if I just start laying things down and then seeing how it looks. So let's try a tunnel here. I think we can afford it. Wow, that's... yes, we'll probably do this, but in case our money gets a little too tight, I'm just going to leave it open for now. I think that's the right size. Yes, okay. So let's assume there's a tunnel there. So we basically need to figure out how we're getting into the station and how we're getting out. Given that the junction's already here, we can peel off early. And there's going to be a lot of trains coming here. At least 3 different materials are coming here. We've got ore trains coming in, we've got coal trains coming in, and we've got steel beam pickup trains, or iron beam pickup trains. Which means we want to have plenty of room for trains to get off the freeway and wait, and not have to wait where their tail is blocking, you know, maybe the throughput going somewhere else. So there's a few ways to do that. I mean, we could have kind of a parking lot where you do multiple parallel spaces like this, and then maybe it bends back over here. Again, I'm just kind of sketching out how it might look. You know, we'd clean it up a bit, but that's kind of the basic idea. They come in, at least one of these bays is likely to be free. They come in here. If they need to wait, they do, for one of the station platforms to open up. And given how busy the station could be, I think I'm good with this. Maybe like 3 platforms plus 2 waiting areas. Something like that. So what's the tightest we can come off here? I want to make sure that, let's see. I kind of want a spot in between in case we need a signal there, which I probably wouldn't put in, but I mean, we don't need it. Give us a little bit more room if we come off earlier. Yeah, I mean, there's no real need for a space. And in which case, so I forgot my hotkeys are. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of this. That's gonna look a little different. Maybe something like that. Okay, and I would like to put the station maybe here if we can fit it. That doesn't leave us a lot of room to get out of here. And in fact, given that we're coming off this early, maybe we want the station going horizontal. So there's plenty of room to get out of the station and get back. So I'm going to do a little something here. We have these signals set to 8 length. And I'm putting these in for now so I know that a full train can fit in these parking spots before I veer off. So we can veer off as soon as here and here. So get that, we'll remove that. And we could obviously do it a little bit sooner given that there's all this extra space here. And you know what, I think we want to. Yeah, it's a little bit high. So say it was instead say we veered off from here. And I'm gonna get rid of this because I need to do this again. And yeah, that's enough. And we could even go one more, but barely. Would that work? I think this might be too short. Oh, I totally screwed that up. Let's see. This would be more like that. And I have to remove the other track because any junction will interfere with this 8 length. Okay, so this is actually perfect for the inside lane. Great. And then I want room for these to split into 3 potential sections of station. Like that. Which means our station is going to be maybe right here. And it's going to have to veer off, come back down and get off on this southbound line. I'm not going to worry about getting off, on this westbound line. Although that would be very easy to do because it's just a merge with no intersections. Ruined Church. Okay, cool. We already are kind of set up to do that. And there's no time limit, so I'm just going to close it for now. The inside lane is going to be the limiting factor. These can all go in as tight as the inside lane, so we'll have them do that. Could be a little bit of a bottleneck getting out, but I mean, it's just going to be a queue. You know, they're just going to be waiting in line. All right, and that leaves us enough space to maybe build a tunnel here or a bridge or whatever we need, but we're not using this track yet. So I'll leave it there as is. And this tunnel, yeah. I mean, we can afford to build it, but then we won't have that much left over for the trains themselves. But I think we'll have enough, and we still have money coming in, so let's just bite the bullet and get it built. And there's top speed goes up to the fastest track speed. Another advantage it has over bridges, which cap out at I think 50 or 60, so not very fast. Okay, so this is kind of our first station like this. We can hold 3 trains in the stations and then 2 more here. That should be enough to prevent trains from blocking too much traffic out here. Although they do... Well, yeah, this should be fine. This should be fine. So, we're going to signal this with a green here, telling us whether or not the bay is closed, and a green on the exit. So as soon as a train leaves, basically, it gets flagged as open. We want them to leave this station block as soon as possible, so we get that signal up there nice and tight. Same with this. Go into this bay if it's clear, but this signal up here is going to be a change signal. And the reason for that is I don't want you to go forward unless one of these other signals is green. Because I don't want you to just... If this is a regular signal, they might come up here and they're all red and they just pick one and then they wait. But then another one opens up first. So now this one's sitting open, but they're still sitting here waiting and stuck and can't go anywhere. And maybe even another train rolls in and now they're stuck too. So don't even enter this intersection unless you have an open bay to get into. That's what this change signal is going to do. But these we want just regular, because if this is open, we definitely want them coming in to wait. Okay. And even though we're not sending trains down this way either, we're going to signal this up too. So we're going to have a signal on the outside, which means as soon as you clear the intersection, I basically don't want you to be flagged as blocking the intersection anymore. And then we'll make these two change signals. That way a train coming up here is going to wait until either this way is clear or one of these two ways are clear, depending on where he's going. Same with any train coming this direction. Because if they didn't wait, they'd go wait in a signal and they'd clog up a lane, and maybe someone going a different direction would be not able to get through as fast as they should. Okay, so that's good. And exiting out of here, we want to... What's the hotkey for signal again? It's F, okay. We kind of want them to all wait as close as they can. But I'll line this up just so it looks a little bit better. I could put it down here. So it seems a little silly to have these so close together, but if I don't want them to wait in the station if it's not clear to get out to here. And I'll put another signal here. I want them to go ahead and pull out as far as they can and then wait to see if it's clear up ahead. Even coming into this and waiting their turn here if they need to. And then we'll do the 8 signal up from here, which is going to be to there, but then we'll bring it all the way to here, and that's where they'll wait. And we'll queue it up there and queue it up there. Same with these two. I don't have one here because I don't care. I mean, I want them to just wait. If one of these is red, I want them to just wait at their turn. I don't need them possibly waiting back here. And they're not going to block anything because they have to be here anyway to go where they're going. So you can have signals in a tunnel, so I like to put one right at the beginning and then right at the end, just to get a few more in. And I think we signaled all this up already, yeah. So now we can just kind of fill in the rest automatically with the... We're going with the 8 length, that's fine. Okay, well, we've got a little bit of bunching up here, but I'm okay with that. And great. Oh, we need them here and here. Okay. Tidy this up a bit. So I guess our depot is one way now, so we can go ahead and do that too. Yeah, that's all one way. I don't really want this to be all one block, so we'll break it up a bit just manually there. Okay, cool. So let's start getting the trains running. Let's start with an iron ore train. Length of 6. We'll come to our depot. We're on hard mode, so we only get the one depot. We could move it later if we want. But let's see what we can even afford. Okay, I guess we're okay on money. Now, whatever we choose, we kind of want a similar speed, at least for the coal and the iron ore, because they're going to be sharing so much of their line. We don't really want a fast one being slowed down by a slower one in front of it. I don't think we're making enough coal. Well, maybe we are. You always want to make sure that I've mentioned this before. I'll keep mentioning it probably a few more times, but you certainly want to make sure that your vehicle fuel does not outpace your station income. Especially on hard mode, because your trains will just stop, and then at that point you don't really have a way to get them moving again unless you use some other currency to set up a new line, and hopefully those trains aren't blocking. Maybe you have to build track around them or something. So we're going to stick with just green coin trains for now. 31's a bit too slow for how far we're going. So I think we're going to go with the Baldwin. Yes, it uses 2, and we might have to even double head the train. Although the station size of 6, maybe not. This is 40 though, for half the cost. Now we'll take the extra power. We're going to need it. So we'll go with the Baldwin. We'll go to the iron ore. We can't afford the fax at all. I guess the Linz is our best bet. It's going to cost us probably all of our timber tokens. We'll get one train going for now, I guess. This train is a little bit too small. I got to see the length. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm already overweight, and the length is only 3.34. So I want to take a look at our vehicle fuel. 224, but we're making 1680. That might drop off because the mail car is going to start slowing down, and that was making us some money, but we're still safely ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and be fine with paying the extra fuel cost. So we will double head this with an extra Baldwin. It adds quite a bit of length, but it's worth it because we'll be able to get a few more cars. And these hold 12. That's a pretty good number. Okay. So up to 502, 557. Oh, and the 46 is going to be just over. Oh, we could afford the weight. Yeah, 6.03. That's fine. So even though the stations are length 6, I mean, the signal comes out more than 0.03, and that is accounted for. So it's 0.03 of this next square. So that's more than fine. In fact, we could probably set our limit closer to 6.5, 6.4 maybe, and be just fine. But 6.03 I'm happy with. So we will do that. And this train is going to come here and then here. And you know, these ratios, it is 5-to-5 coal and iron ore, but I mean, they're traveling different distances. It's kind of tough to get the ratios right. It's something we'll have to tune as we go, or at least get it close enough. But yeah, that's all you're going to be doing. You're fine there. Train 12, good luck. We'll name you later. What's Bunyan waiting for? Oh, Bunyan's filling up here. Okay. We expanded this forestry quite a bit. It's keeping up. That says 162. You know, I think I'm gonna change these fonts to be white. Can I do that really quickly? Yeah. Black. The problem is then the black's kind of hard to see. I want the text to be white. Kind of a maroon. I don't know. Kind of. It's. You know what? That kind of blends in too much. I need it to stand out from... Okay, this could work. Dark green, the front runner. Light blue. Navy blue. Periwinkle. Peach. Pink purple. Almost purple, but not quite. Navy blue? No, I'll go with the dark green. Okay. Anyway, it's easier to see these numbers here, which are important to know. Okay, so that train is off and running. Here it comes. Let's kind of see how it gets along there. It's got the turnaround right here. Yeah, okay. We're utilizing a lot of turnarounds in this network, which is just one way to do it, and probably not the most efficient way. But he should be able to get in there just fine. And we'll get our coal train going here. Much shorter distance to go. Given the turnaround, and this one's more direct, this could be close to half the distance. as the coal train, or as the iron ore train. So maybe we do make it slower. No, because if it's just going to slow down the other train potentially. So we'll start with 1 Baldwin. I suspect we'll need 2. We don't have any... Oh, you know, we do have some of these, but we don't have enough yet. We got them as a reward. They're not coming in yet. Our 300 units of timber. Okay, so that's already happening. Yeah, this is going to happen automatically. Deliver the iron ore and the coal. We're working on that now, and then the ruined church we will get to. Yeah. I guess we can afford this. We'll see how far we get. We're already going to be out of weight, though. So yeah, we're going to have to double head this one, too. This is not the ideal train to be double heading, but for our purposes right now, it seems like the best option. Now this is going to be the last lints we can purchase. Now we've got to go to the Talbots, which is okay. Still plenty of power. And 5.64, yeah, we'll be more than happy to be... This is going to be 6.03 again. It's weird considering it's different cars. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to be dropping off way more coal than iron ore, which we might not want long term, but we might have to see about that. But we are getting coal tokens also. So it might not hurt to just flood it with coal for now. We'll have you come up here and then over here. You are underway. Okay. And we'll let those run for a moment. Let's see, he's pulling out. Let's see what the double-headed train looks like. Changing our UI color actually changed the color of the trains. Which is cool, but I mean, I think it would be much better if you could just paint them individually. Kind of really customize each train if you wanted to, or at least design kind of a set uniform for different types of trains, or maybe different lines, different routes, or different goods. I mean, I don't know, something. There's the blue bomber, not carrying full loads yet. We haven't really looked at our town progress. We put some roads in last episode. And mail's coming in, 32 passengers, 16 mail. Logger, the iron ore train must have already left. Yeah, it's making its way. Full load. Full speed. Coming into the station. So, I mean, this is way too much for now, because we only have 3 trains total. But this will ensure that they never wait for each other, except possibly on the way out. And this is all 1 lane anyway, so, I mean, that's pretty much unavoidable, unless we triple track this, you know. And, you know, there is something to be said for that. Like, for example, we could... Let's see. No, I guess this wouldn't gain us too much until we start having traffic coming in this way. But we could, I mean, have this not intersect here, and instead come... I'm sorry, I'm not drawing this well, but have another line branch out, maybe here. That's for the toolworks, and that comes down here, and then down to that. But that wouldn't gain us anything because they're still sharing this single line, and they're still going to wait for each other. But here he is unloading. We got some snow going. Steam looks decent in the winter. That's cool. All right. How's our coal friend doing? Not at the station yet, but here he comes. Train 14, 60 coal. Is that how many he holds too? You hold 80. Okay, so maybe that will sort of come closer to balancing out. But now that you're making your stop, we can go ahead and get our iron rod. I got to figure out what these are called. That's that telling me. Well, we'll find out soon enough when we build our train. So, I'm just going to go ahead and do the 2 Baldwins now. Or maybe we... what's our coal intake? 55. I think that's enough to support one train. I'm not certain. And we'll be getting some additional coal tokens that way. So yeah, let's go ahead and get a faster, stronger train for this. I'm tempted to get the GS2. Yeah, what the hell? Let's get the GS2. And you're going to carry... still not telling me what that is called. Unfortunately, we can't afford the more efficient car with our lumber situation. So we'll stock up on this, and maybe we'll switch it out. I mean, you do pass the depot on your line anyway, so it's fairly efficient to make the change. You don't have to go too far out of your way. So yeah, this train's going to have plenty of extra weight. It's going to be a matter of length. 5.87. Now, say we did throw one more on there. 6.45. That's right on the border of extending beyond the signals. But even then, if we go into build mode, we can see. Even then, it's not the end of the world if the train hangs out into the edge. I mean, we kind of have space for that. If we're not careful, that's the kind of thing that will gridlock a system. If you don't pay attention to the lengths, there's going to be a spot somewhere where maybe it's a problem. But in this station, well, it would be a problem potentially here if it hangs out past this signal. Because then it will be in this block, and it will block anyone else from going in. Now, we could get around that by putting the signals out here. Which actually is a decent idea for a couple of reasons. Basically, anyone waiting here won't have to wait as long. As soon as the train gets past this signal, these will open up again. It won't have to wait until they get past these ones. So yeah, we'll do that, and then it'll allow longer trains in here without disrupting anything. So we'll try that. Okay. And you, so 6.45 is fine. You are going to start up at the foundry here, and you're going to come all the way down to the toolworks. Okay, go. Go ahead and close the depot. We'll take a look at the GS2 coming out of here. GS2 has a cool horn sound, which we can test out like so. I don't think train when I hear that, but I still think it's cool. Okay, awesome. So off that goes. Our fastest train on the network. I don't think we have a GS2 running. No, I'm almost certain we don't. And hopefully we have enough coal to support that. And because of our tunnel, we'll never have any waiting issues with trains coming back from the station. I mean, we wouldn't have had one here, but it's close. Well, yeah, I mean, it would have been seamless, but it would have been close, and a future trip, you know, it would have been bound to happen. Let's put it that way. And I do love it when trains cross each other in these kinds of intersections at the same time. It's just kind of a nice reminder that things are running fairly smoothly. Okay, so how's our foundry doing? It's got, okay, so it's made 72. It's already burned through its coal. The extensions look like they don't help the ratio. In fact, 3 to 3 and get 4 and 1 is much... Oh, this is 4 and... Oh, sorry. Yeah, 4 and 4 to give you 4 and 2. So you don't get as much of the iron beams. Or this was called them... No, what kind of tokens are these? Iron. Okay, so the iron beams, iron rods. That ratio is not as good, but you get an extra token out of it. All right, and here's our GS2 filling up. Actually getting a full load. Nice. Cool. So we will start to see these come in. And Forgotten Train got a reward. Oh, we'll take this. This This is a reward for... This just happened. We didn't do anything for this. So it's a shame to leave it like this. Okay, cool. We won't postpone or refuse. The way we get those rewards is we come to our depot and you hit the bonus tab. And it's just waiting here. 1 times, so we will click it to receive it. It's now in our depot. It says it's ruined. It's rusty, but the maintenance looks fine. It runs 47 miles an hour. I think that's a bit slower. 53. Okay, so it does run 6 miles an hour slower. And is the power less too? So it got 100 less horsepower. Okay, so it's kind of just a janky version. And it goes 47 miles per hour and uses a coal token. This might actually not be very useful for us. Anyway, this line is set up and working. 80 more coming in. We kind of need our coal to pick it up. Coal's coming in. The coal should catch up, is my guess. Because, I mean, it uses the same amount of coal as iron ore. And I know you only carry 20 less, but you should be significantly closer. Maybe it's not a huge amount. But you know what? We could maybe increase our timber. I think now's a good time. Now that we got a little cash, we could actually afford a bunch of cash trains. Because, for example, Bunyan here, he's at his weight limit. I mean, we could pull him into the station, double head him, and add a couple more. But I might just make another train. This forestry has most of the extensions, a little extra one here. It takes 3 ticks to get 2 logs, so it's not quite as fast as the other ones. Well, I guess it's faster in the tree nursery, which takes 2 for 1. Yeah, let's maybe spend... actually, you know what? That might be a good place to leave it. We'll start a new project next time. We got our main highway linked up. 3 trains are running on it. It's a trickle at this point, but we have room to expand with those extra slots. Certainly room to expand this. And I'm kind of thinking this could almost join to become some massive Toolworks depot. We can't make it into one station. It's just not enough room. But if we had an 8 wide here and an 8 wide there, long term in the future for everything dumping in down this open area, I mean, I could see that being fairly cool. Oh, you just dropped it off. So we do have some tokens coming in. How are you doing there, Toolworks? You are holding 20 of these iron beams, so you'll start making... And it doesn't happen instantaneous, as I'm sure you've noticed. These will sit here, and they got to churn through 3 every one of these time segments. And there's ways to speed that up. All right, 5 to 2. 3 to 1, 5 to 2. So that's a better ratio, and we can churn them out faster. And it only costs us 120 coal. Yeah, we'll hold off. Maybe we'll do that next time. I want to see... We did put a couple coal-consuming trains out on the line. Well, just the one, actually. I want to make sure we can afford that before we spend any more coal. All right, cool. But yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll maybe next episode revisit some of our other lines, see if we can do some optimization, and see what our next expansion is going to be. We've got a reward to collect. We will do that. Boom. We will look at actually getting the ruined church up to speed, which is up here. Should be fairly trivial. It's connected to our main line. Could get a little congested, but things will be able to come up here, back down, around, and down here. So, I mean, it's kind of a circuitous route, I guess, to get where it needs to go, but we should be able to provide that, at least at a trickle. Sorry, what do you need again? Oh, you need iron, too. That will take us a little while, because we're just getting our iron set up. And that'll be another interesting thing to think about, because we don't have... If the iron's coming down from here, what would be the best way to get to El Paso? You would probably want to come down here. Maybe we have a turnaround here. Something like that. Yeah. We're sort of committed to the turnarounds at this point. Or we could also just have it, you know, branch off here and maybe bridge it, although we'd have to tweak this slightly. You know, there's a couple options, but probably a turnaround. And then pretty soon this is going to be impossible to even read by looking at. But I'm happy with where we're at now. We've got our iron coming in. We'll boost our timber, and we'll take the next steps next time. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you then.